Hi, welcome along to Arsenal Fan TV. This is Robbie here, and I'm joined by a very special guest for this feature. Goes by the name of Freddie, and he's got a YouTube page called The Ugly Inside, which is a Southampton channel. How you doing, mate?
I'm not too bad, mate. How are you?
Yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. Looking forward to the game, Arsenal versus Southampton on Tuesday night. It's a massive game for us. I've still got horrible memories of Boxing Day. I can remember it vividly. Trust me, when we went down there, I think a lot of Arsenal fans are thinking to themselves, okay, listen, we haven't had a very good record away at Southampton, but we were feeling pretty confident because of where we were in the table. Southampton fans who I spoke to on the before the game on the night were feeling a bit down about Southampton because you hadn't been playing well. And then on the night, you absolutely annihilated us 4-0. What? First of all, let's talk about that night. Was you shocked as well?
Well, it sent shockwaves across the country and across the world, to be honest. I don't think any Saints fan at the stadium or anywhere up and down the country expected us to win 4-0, you know? It was something out of the blue because obviously running up to that game, we hadn't won in about 5 or 6 games. We scored, you know, sort of maybe 1 or 2 goals, but nobody expected it. I think it kind of ruined your Christmas, you know?
Yeah, it did. It did ruin our Christmas. What is it about Southampton? Because every time we seem to play you at your place, you really have a good game against us. Whereas when you come to our place, it always seems to be a different story. But you've got a very good record against Arsenal down at your place.
Yeah, of course. Well, we won Boxing Night, and then the year before that, on New Year's Day, we won 2-0 against you guys. But it's not an easy game against Arsenal. You know, you're strong, flares or skillful side, and I think Kuma just sets up the lads to just kind of try and contain you guys, but also, you know, try and catch you on the break.
So how's Southampton been doing since that game? Because as you said, I know that you were on a bit of a bad run before you beat us. How have you been doing since then?
Well, since the turn of the year, since the FA Cup game when we lost to Crystal Palace, we've absolutely turned it around. Kuman's obviously got the lads going. We haven't conceded a goal in 3 games now. I think helping that is Fraser Forster returning to the team, you know. It came back for Watford. He didn't have a shot to save. We won 2-0 that game. We won 3-0 against West Brom a couple of days later at St Mary's. Again, another game that he had barely anything to do. So one of our fan counters said he could have made a cup of tea and a slice of cake. He didn't have much to do at all. And to be fair to him, he hasn't had much to do against Old Trafford, against United last weekend either. So I think he's just instilled that confidence to the lads at the back. And you know, don't get me wrong, Stecklenburg is a talented keeper, but I think, you know, Force just a
Yeah, now Force is a top keeper. Now, how are you feeling ahead of the game against Arsenal? As I said, you took us apart at your place. How are you feeling ahead of the second game where we play you at the Emirates?
Well, I think it's not going to be an easy game. As an optimist, I think I'm going to go for, you know, maybe one goal in it, I reckon. I think there'll be goals, perhaps a 1-1 or a 2-1 Saints, I've got to have to say.
Oh, so you are feeling confident?
I'm feeling confident.
Hold on, let me just remind you, you haven't got a great record. You know, at St Mary's, yes, you've turned us over many a time, but at our place, it's a lot different. And I think what you're going to have to remember about this one, let me just give you 2 little things just to bring you down a little bit, all right? Number one, just before that game when we played you, we were coming off of the back of a really, really tough game, right? When we played Manchester City. Sorry, my phone just fell down here. We played Manchester City on that day, just before we played you, and that was a really tough game, took a lot out of us, right? Came down to your place. Now, at that time, we were really suffering squad-wise. There was a lot of players missing, a lot of players out, and it was literally, we had to go into that game with the same team once again when we played you. And in hindsight, what we should really have done was made a few changes, but there wasn't really much to bring in. However, when you're playing us this time, there's a lot of players now that are returning. Alexis Sanchez being the main one. He's back. Francis Coquelin is back. He played yesterday. He played about an hour of that game. So I think it's going to be a little bit of a different proposition. Plus as well, I think that those players, they know that they owe the fans a bit of revenge for that night, because that was possibly the worst defeat that we'd had of the season. So they are going to want to avenge that. So I think it's going to be a very tough game.
I think it'd be a big midfield battle, because if Wanyama plays again and Classy or Romeo, whoever plays, and if it's going to be Romeo and Wanyama versus Coquelin and Flamini or you know, whoever, or if he plays El Nene, you know, it's going to be tight.
Mm. Yeah, and as I said, I think the main difference that's going to be in that game is that we'll have options on the bench. So there'll be players that will be able to bring off of the bench depending on who we start. And as I said, Alexis Sanchez is back. He scored a great goal yesterday. He was all over the place. He was busy yesterday. And I don't know. I'm looking forward to the game. I think that, you know, there's a lot. It's going to be tough because, listen, that'll be in the back of our minds, the fact that you beat us 4-0 at your place. But I think that those players are going to be like, you know, we were a lot better than we were that night. You know, that was a poor performance, and we owe the fans. And we need this victory to get back on track as well in the league, because, you know, in the league we haven't been doing too great. But with all the players returning, there's a bit more optimism around the place at Arsenal.
You're 3 points from top. Do you think it'll propel you for the title race?
Well, yeah. I mean, if we was to win the game, you know, we're still in the title race. You know, we're 3 points off of Leicester, level on points with Manchester City, but I think the next 3 games that we're coming up, which is against you guys at home, we've got Bournemouth away, and then we've got Leicester at home. Those 3 games, if we could get maximum points in those 3 games, I'm sure that's what the guys will be targeting. We're going to be looking good going into you know, the rest of the title run. The games are a lot kinder to us. So I don't know. It's massive. It's massive. So expect a backlash.
Yeah, I think I'll go for a 1-0 or 2-1 Saints for me.
Okay, you're going for that. I'm going to go for Arsenal winning this one by 2-0. 2-0.
They
owe us.
I think Charlie Austin's got to score again.
Sorry?
Charlie Austin's got to score again, surely.
No, Charlie Austin. I forgot about Charlie Austin. Yeah. Charlie Austin. But he wasn't even there last time. The one who done the damage was the Irish boy up front. You were pretty devastating that night. And where did that defender, that first goal he scored?
Oh, Cuco Martina, an absolute world-class, top-class goal. You know, I actually publicly said on Twitter before the game, I didn't think Martina was good enough for the Premier League, and it absolutely made me eat my words. I don't think anybody saw it coming.
That's my prediction. You've heard Freddie's prediction there, and the Southampton fans have got a big smile on their face. Hold on, wait a minute. You know what? Just before I go, I've got to remind you about something, right? 3 of those 4 goals were offside on that night. 3. Am I wrong?
Well, I can't disagree.
And the 4th goal that went in, that was all right. But then by that time, you know what I mean? No, listen, it's going to be a great game. I think it's, as I said, expect a different Arsenal. That night, I thought that was our worst performance of the season. We actually gave up after 2-0, and that's the thing that really upset me that night. But I think it's going to be a bit of a different game at the Emirates. So I'm looking forward to it. Freddie, tell them about your channel just before we go there.
So check us out on YouTube. We're The Ugly Inside. We're a Saints dedicated fan channel. We're giving you match previews, reviews, lots of fan cams, lots of the films coming up on our channel as well. So just check us out. It's youtube.com/The Ugly Inside 1988. By
the way, why is it The Ugly Inside? Is that a Southampton thing?
So The Ugly Inside is originally a fanzine. So it started in 1988 with Nick and Clive, who you might have seen on the videos. Yeah. And originally they gave out hard copy sort of magazines at the Dell.
Yeah. But why Ugly Inside? I still can't. Why Ugly Inside?
I don't know. I'm not sure where it's come from. You have to ask Nick and Clive, and they'll give you a history lesson on that one.
Well, it's going to be ugly for you guys then on Tuesday. Thanks, mate. And looking forward to the game.
All right. See you in a bit.
Cheers.